Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We're the heartbeat of the community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and today we are actually featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, my hometown. And with me is our fabulous Jean Hungiville. And you happen to be with the Chamber for how many years now?
It is now 5 years as of Monday of this week. I cannot believe it.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Yes.
What an anniversary. Good for you.
Monday of this week. So it was one of those things where 2 years ago at this time we were getting ready for the 2020 Fine Arts Festival.
I
and
remember.
World changed after that.
That's right. But you did it.
We did it. No, we did not do it 2020.
No,
but we got around. Yes, we got around.
Because I know you were running around like crazy to pull it all together. Congratulations for that.
I love it.
You've made a big difference with the Tarpon Chamber, so we really appreciate it having you here. And today we have our first guest, Abby Holland.
Hello.
It's so nice to have you.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I got to see your show earlier, and I was ecstatic to get to meet you guys in person.
I couldn't wait to bring her on because she has such a fascinating business. And
we love that.
Brand new in Tarpon.
Yes, brand new. We just had our ribbon cutting ceremony hosted by none only the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And so it was a great time. Y'all made it super special. I really can't thank y'all enough for everything that y'all did for us that day.
It was super. And your CEO came down from Atlanta and was there and did presentation. But Bipper Media, what is it all about? How old is the company? How was it founded? And just give us some history.
Right. So
family business, right?
Yes, I was about to say
that.
the CEO is actually my dad.
I love it.
My dad. I love working with him. Me and him are always kind of seeing eye to eye in things, and I look up to him. So really, it's an honor for me to work under him and kind of take his lead and learn from him. So it's really been a blessing to have it as a family business. But he actually founded it. He's been doing SEO for about 15 years, and Bipper Media has been in existence for about 10 years.
Okay.
And what is so crazy about that is SEO, even now, it's just now becoming super well known. No one really still to this day, there's more now than a few years ago. People are like, oh yeah, SEO, we know exactly what that is. Whereas 10 years ago, that wasn't even, I don't know how he got the idea or where it kind of circulated. He first started building websites. Okay. So I think that's where it really all started.
And watching the numbers on that and what the results are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it makes complete sense, You go to Google, you search something, and if your business is on the third or fourth page, your competitors are going to be found first.
Exactly.
It makes complete sense why that would be a business and something that people need help with.
For those that may not know what SEO is, search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization is what it is. And in simple terms, we help businesses get found through Google search.
And that's a major part in being
a
marketer and getting results for your business, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's huge, and our clients know how important it is. And even businesses who they may see themselves on Google Maps, there's certain businesses there that are their competitors, and they're way up there. You feel those clicks, you feel those phone calls, you feel those website traffic, you feel all of that. If you are down there, you're not getting what you want. And who doesn't use Google, We use Google for everything.
Of course.
You want to know a doctor near me, you need a pediatric. So, pediatrics near me, boom. The first 3 is who you're going to go to. Right?
Yes, because your screen isn't that much bigger.
Right, and your screen's not that much bigger. And also, I think that just people in general are impatient, and we need something quickly.
I was just going to ask you that. I'm one of those. I want this right now.
Yes,
if I have to go from this link to this link to not doing it. But if I can go and get the information that I want, right? Are you guys that way too?
Yeah, absolutely.
So having someone like yourself to work on search engine optimization, there may be some of you. I was going to ask, does that still mean what I thought it meant when I first learned that?
Yes.
Yep. So it can make a major difference by having someone help you with your business.
Absolutely.
To get your business to rise to the top.
Yep.
Can you give our business owners that are out there or thinking of starting a new business, what are some tips that you can give them that they can do ahead of time, because
Absolutely.
a lot of businesses may think,
Yeah.
I'm going to open up a business and I'll put it out on the internet and on Facebook. But if you don't have the magic resources,
Right.
then you're going to get lost, right?
Absolutely. No, that's a great question.
So what's step number one for a business owner that maybe isn't really all that technology
Right.
inclined?
Great.
Bipper
Step
Media.
number one. Step number one is have a Google My Business profile. That is step no. Yep, take notes. Get your
I'm
pens out.
taking notes.
Step number one, you need to have a Google My Business profile.
Okay.
So you need to have your business name as accurate as, you need all your business information as accurate as possible. Fill out your Google My Business profile, the more the better. If you are able to, send the review links to clients and try and get as many reviews as you can, because that helps with your authority in search. Another really important key component is making sure that your business name on all platforms is completely aligned. So that could be your business, that could be your Facebook, that could be your social media accounts.
All the same.
It could be anything that we call it citations. So a citation is a fancy name. She's really taking notes.
No, I am. We have several businesses. I want to get this.
Absolutely. So citation is a fancy name for your business information. So your business name, address, phone number, and website. So we actually, if a client signs on with us, we build those citations for you. And it's really important to have those citations because they serve as sort of somewhat of a backlink to your website. And Google basically looks at those citations that are on other sites that are high quality sites, and it basically credits them in search. So Google kind of looks at that and is like, oh, so they are who they say they are. This is affirming to us, so we're going to kind of help them.
I like that.
When I first came on with
get
the
it.
chamber, I saw exactly what you were describing. We were .com, we were .org, we said Greater Tarpon Springs
Right.
Chamber, we were Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, we were Tarpon Springs, in
Exactly.
all these different things. And I kept looking at this going, and my gut feeling was, I didn't know about SEO 5 years ago, but I started looking at that and I thought, well, I know that it needs to be consistent because
Absolutely.
just because of basic marketing 101.
Yes.
But I'm surprised now the number of businesses that we have as members that don't have that consistency.
Right. We see it all the
really?
time, and we actually do citation audits and cleanups where we go and search the internet for our clients to find those inconsistencies, because Google really appreciates the consistency and they reward you for it. So the slightest inconsistency is going to set you off. So for any businesses out there that are listening, if you can take anything away from this, citation cleanup is one of the top things that you can do to help your search authority. So,
and this
I would
one
definitely-
particular business I'm thinking of just closed their doors right after Christmas this year. And they had been in business about 3 years, 4 years maybe.
Yeah.
And they changed their name. They were a chamber member for a while, and then they changed their name,
Yeah,
they did, but they still had their website as one, and their Facebook was
Yes.
something else,
Yeah.
and then the sign on the front was something completely
Absolutely.
different. Cute store, but it
Right.
just didn't make it.
No. And again, just that alignment is super important. And honestly, that's all our whole purpose is. We're a small business, Our main office is in Athens, Georgia, and we were blessed to be able to open up a new location. But our niche demographic is local small businesses, and that is exactly why. Our whole goal is to serve other people, and our word is service. And this is our website. So what everyone can do is, if you want to scroll up, I don't know if they're doing this live. Oh, perfect, cool.
Yep.
So right there is our free ebook. So this is available to anyone who goes to our website. All you do is plug in your email, and it gets sent to your email. And basically it is 25 local SEO tips. So it kind of dives into what a business would need. It's completely free, yours to keep, super valuable. We always want to offer that to anyone that we talk to. It's a great guideline to what we do and how businesses can help themselves. So
That is
Terrific.
worth its weight in gold, guys and gals.
Absolutely.
That is worth watching the show to get that information, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of baby boomers out there that have businesses or getting ready to start
Right.
business and all.
Yes.
And if you can give some tips like that, and of course, it's
Absolutely.
always a wonderful way to capture
Right.
clients as
Yes.
well. And, we all have our strengths and maybe some weaknesses here and there. And I love talking to the younger generation, because you guys get it, right?
Yes.
Well, it's also really unique, and I didn't get it until recently, is when you were doing the ribbon cutting, your CEO was talking about having he was on his way to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Because there was a air conditioning company, I think it was,
Yeah.
that he was working with there.
yes.
And so you don't have to be in Tarpon, or you don't
No.
have to be in
No.
Athens,
No.
Georgia, to take advantage of
No.
your expertise.
We are an international business. We have clients all around the world. I've been talking to so many people in India the past week. I don't know how we've gotten to India and how they found us, but I've been talking to a lot of people in India. We have people in Canada. We have people all over. So
That's great.
it's really cool.
So you were smart enough to join the Tarpon Chamber. We've
Absolutely.
got less than 2 minutes. How's that working for you?
Oh,
Especially
I've
with Jean
loved
here.
it.
Oh,
No,
so
she
far
is
so good.
amazing. I love her. She's one of my favorites. Not to point out any
That's
favorites,
because
but
we probably like the same little cafe.
no, we have we bond there. We really do. But I moved to Tarpon Springs just out of college. I graduated May 2021, just last May, and
Right
I
in the
didn't
middle
know
of this.
anyone. So I came to the Chamber of Commerce, and honestly, it's given me a community
Good.
that I didn't have before.
Good.
And I'm super blessed to have you guys. And
Good for you.
it really has. It's my main point of it was, obviously networking for business, but also having relationships with people.
Of course.
Because I didn't know anyone, so I wanted to make these relationships with these people so that way I can lean on them and they can always lean on me. So
That's really good. And you've got that open
Absolutely.
mind, taking
Yes.
some of the best of the past and the best
Right.
of the present and moving forward, because marketing changes and
Oh, it does,
the digital
yeah.
age changes. One thing I learned 1,000%, things change daily.
oh, it does.
Daily. Just
Right.
when I learned this one thing, I learned something else. So you just joined the chamber, right?
Yes, I did.
But I think it was
so
the second thing she did after she put furniture in her office.
I think so. It was. We didn't even have everything hung up on our wall yet.
That's fabulous. Well, we're coming to the close of this segment, and I tell you, if you're kind of philandering around and you don't know what to do about your business, and you really want to go to the top, you need some help, definitely. And I would definitely call Abby, come in for a consultation, right?
Yes, I do free consultations.
And where's your office? In the heart of Tarpon?
Yes, in the heart of Tarpon. We are we are in the Ellis building, I believe.
Oh, I
It
know where that is.
Yes, so it's on the corner across from Drought House Pizza. It is that beautiful coral green looking building.
Thank you for the description.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Right.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. With me is Jean Hungiville, and she's with the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. Again, I have to say congratulations for your 5-year anniversary.
I love it.
And
I can't
you're
believe it.
just blowing everything out of the water here in Tarpon Springs. And I am so excited to meet our gal, Christine Vasiliades.
Good job.
Oh,
I love
nice,
it.
smooth, Barbara.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having
Very
me.
good.
When I saw you, I kind of sort of recognized you, but when I saw your coffee table book, I knew it was you back again.
Well, I am famous.
You are famous worldwide. I mean,
Worldwide,
talk about
literally.
an entrepreneur. I mean, I forget which book it is, but it is literally on my own personal coffee table. And here's where we're going to tell you why. It's all about entrepreneurs today looking to do businesses. You are such an inspiration for that. How did you get started with all of this wonderful advertising and branding and just a really beautiful quality book?
Because nobody does this stuff anymore.
No.
It is interesting you say that. I'll say this first. In such a digital age, these books, people love them. There's not a day, 10 times a day that don't go by that I hear, we love this.
Yes.
It was an accident. I opened and ran restaurants for 20 years of my life, and I was getting out, and I didn't know what else I could do because that's all I've ever done. And it happened organically and totally by accident. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't a thought in my head. It happened, and
I remember when you came to Tarpon, and it was like, okay, I got it because I'm a reader and I love this stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle the first year here. I mean, this is our ad.
It is with every book.
I love this.
Look at this.
Look at this.
It's amazing. So did a bell go off in your head, or you saw lights flashing?
So, a friend of mine from Pittsburgh, because I live here, but I also live in the capital of Pennsylvania, and I fly 30 times a year back and forth, called me at home. She was picking up a real estate license from the capital, and she said, okay, I've stayed here in Mechanicsburg and Hershey. Do you people not have books in your rooms like the rest of the world? And I said, I don't know. I live here. I don't stay in our hotels, generally speaking. And I don't know, something went off. And so I went out and started doing due diligence and talking to people. And in fact, these books are all over. My brother, who's a wedding photographer, goes to Jamaica. They have them there. And so the hotels are where I started. People loved the idea that their visitors could get, a synopsis of our area. And it kind of grew from there. The idea for me was that after running business and being the decision maker on advertising, as I had that leeway in the restaurants I ran for people, I always thought a couple of things, which is A, it could be super expensive for people with very small margins. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you're targeting the same people. And if you want to do that, great.
Yeah.
But this is a way that I wanted to give small business the biggest exposure out there for people that don't have 5 or even 3, for as little as it would break down to $81 a month to reach millions of people in one of my books.
What?
For a small business. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
People look at the book all the time and think it's going to be really expensive.
That's what I was thinking.
I choose to do this on my own. I do my website, I do my social, I go out and talk to business owners, I do distribution. I'm the marketing and events person.
She's
it's literally
everything.
just me for these 4 books.
So you can afford to do that.
And I choose to do that on purpose to keep my prices
affordable.
Affordable, because
very
people
reasonable.
open my books all the time and go, people that have lived here, this just happened with a gentleman I met in St. Pete. I've lived here for a really long time and I've never heard of this and this and this, and the reason is because these people can't afford to advertise in a lot of places.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But they can afford this.
And this is all year round.
I just made a post about this. I'm actually in over 200 short-term rentals for now. That'll grow with just the Tampa Bay book alone. I do these books in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is also known as Amish country, Hershey in the capital, and then Gettysburg in York, Pennsylvania. And they're all digitally connected. If you open any one of these books to the 5th page, which is how we're global now. I just showed Barbara and Jean a map of the number of countries that have actually read our books.
There we go.
People visiting here, people moving here.
Yep.
Every book has this page where you can scan the code and digitally read our books. So they're all interconnected. So I reach people before they move here, before they visit here. People visiting Hershey that are staying in a hotel. This happened. I had people visiting Hershey, saw this book in a hotel and said, we see you do a Tampa Bay edition. How do we get that? And I said, well, you can digitally read it. And they said, we did. We love it. We have an Airbnb by Raymond James Stadium.
Oh, no
I was
kidding.
down here. They were up there. I mailed them a book. And so it's amazing. And this, shout out to the Tarpon Chamber in this visitor's guide, you guys, okay?
Our new visitor's guide.
This is the newbie.
Inside front cover.
Inside front cover. You
Nice.
can digitally read all of the books if you pick this up at the airport, at the sponge docks, the many, many places that this is distributed. You can digitally read my book. So we're reaching people this way. I work with over 125 realtors and builders. When you buy a home in the area, you get it as a gift. So people new to the area, they're seeing these businesses first.
I don't get speechless very often.
I know,
Joy? But my mind is like spinning and spinning and spinning because this is such an entrepreneurial idea. This is a genius that you came up with, and you deserve every single bit of your hard work as being a one-woman band.
Stop, she's going to cry. She is going to cry. I've seen her do this.
Thank you, I appreciate
But you know what? God is so good. You know, in how many years were you in the restaurant business?
For the better part of 20 years, I opened and ran restaurants for people, and so I did from the beginning program the POS and hire the staff and train the staff and do marketing and events and decide on advertising. And it really did teach me a lot about my entire business model is based on that industry. It definitely informed the way I run my business now and what I wanted for small business owners like myself.
Well, and again, the prices are so reasonable because, I mean, the chamber is a nonprofit. So nonprofits get a special rate in here too. So if anybody's a nonprofit listening to this, there is a nonprofit rate. But I mean, for us to be able to do a double page here, and then we ended up in the Hershey. Was it the Hershey one?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
and
that one. You're in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the chairman of my board had a client up there. My chairman at the time was a financial advisor. He had a client up there, and at a board meeting, he goes, I just spoke with one of my clients in Pennsylvania. How did you get into a coffee table book in Pennsylvania? And he said, can we afford that? And I went, oh, really? He'd heard all about it. Boy, did I look like a genius thanks to you.
I tell you, this is really mind-blowing, even more today to see that 5 years ago.
5 years ago today,
what
I
has
got
it
a letter in the mail with my EIN number.
What has it looked like for the last 2 years around the world? And you have pushed right through it all.
You know what? It ramped up after everything opened up a bit more, both here and in PA. It actually ramped up for me because people were realizing the kind of exposure they could get in this book.
Sure.
For probably what is one of the lowest prices out there.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And so, yeah, it's all about small business, and I am a small business owner, and I am the face of my brand, and I engage with every person in this book personally. I go talk to them, and it's personal for me.
You know, you said some key words. You are the face of your brand. And I really think that sometimes business owners lose that fact right there. And I think people are getting more in tune to family-owned business. So you've been a member of the chamber for how long? We've less than 2 minutes.
I don't know.
3 years?
When she first came to town, she came in because you had been coming to Tarpon as a child because
My grandparents lived here. My whole life I've been bouncing back and forth. I have 2 home states, PA and Tampa Bay.
You know, this is so exciting. It really is. And I know we're running short of time, but you are such an inspiration and motivation, number one, for people. And number two, you're making something that is really doable and affordable. Look at this, the photography, the color. I know just from years ago with doing ads and everything, full color, but in a hardcover book.
Yes.
These are hardcover books. It's just so beautiful. You can scan through and get all the information. You planning a trip down here? Come on down. Get this book. You'll be able to see all kinds of different things. I mean, everything's all opened up, right? And
it's opened up. There's links to the people we work with on my website. So if you're looking for a short-term rental, I'm adding links every day to those folks.
That's great. And we've got these at the chamber.
We do.
So, you know, if somebody really wants to have one, come into the chamber as well. You will probably see Christine there on a regular basis because
I live 2 miles away.
Well, we're actually good friends too. So.
It's so great having you back again.
Thank you.
We're going to have to have you again. Maybe
Can we do an hour next time?
yeah, maybe.
I'm not done here.
I know you're not. We could do a whole hour show.
Okay, listen, shout out to Plum Bottom Shoes in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They're in my Tampa Bay book because they ship all over the U.S.
No, for you.
These are literally the only shoes I ever have on. If you see me with shoes on, they're
That's
from
great.
Plum Bottom, woman-owned
We gotta
business
go.
in Camp Hill and Harrisburg.
See? F Canisto. All right?
Thank you,
Did
everybody.
I say that
They've
right?
lost
Thank
control.
you. And thank you. We'll be right
We've
back.
lost control.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us again. Today we're featuring Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce with my dear friend Jean, and I do mean that with all my heart. She's a very dear friend. Does a great job with the chamber. 5-year anniversary. Congratulations.
Okay.
So we have a couple of special guests today that I was just having a brief, quick little interview before the show. We have Mike Geery, did I get that right?
Yep.
And Ray Ruble. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's so nice to have you here because we had a brief little chat before. And I want you to tell us a little bit of what the concept is behind Jiujitsu, because I don't have any grassroots with that. I'm familiar with the martial arts. I love the concept and the honor that it comes with. So either one of you just jump in whenever the mood strikes you.
Well, Jiu-Jitsu is primarily, its origins come from Japan. It was the hand-to-hand combat during the samurai ages, during the feudal ages.
Okay.
And it's taken form now in a sport. In 1840-something, a man named Jigoro Kano, when the whole feudal empire in Japan changed, the samurai were abolished, and all these generations of people have been practicing these martial arts and devoted to it. They still wanted something that they could train on, because it's not just training the martial arts for self-defense, it's training for discipline, it's training for life. And Jigoro Kano went around to all of the jiu-jitsu schools that were in Japan, and he compiled a series of techniques that you could practice without injuring your partner. And he basically systematized that and gave it to the world. In the early 1900s, several Japanese masters from Jigoro Kano's school went around the world, and some of them landed in Brazil. There are some in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and Sao Paulo in Brazil. In the early 1900s, they started teaching judo, or at the time they called it jiu-jitsu, in Brazil. And the Brazilians have been studying this art and perfecting this art and taking it to this incredible level since that time. And in 1983 or 93, I can't remember when the very first UFC came out. 93. That's when we got introduced, the United States and the West really got introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was all this new.
I didn't either.
It's very new in the United States. It's an old art. Jiu-jitsu has been practiced for probably, I don't know, hundreds of years in Japan. You've seen wrestling. That's another side of the grappling arts. Wrestling is another old art that comes during that time as well. But the Japanese specifically have chokeholds, arm locks, leg locks. They have joint manipulation, strangleholds, and all that sounds terrifying. But when you play with it and you tap, the person lets you go, and that's the end of the game. And it really is essentially a game now.
It's a game now, but it can be used for self-defense.
100%.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
The best part of it is a smaller person can use it very effectively, or a woman can use it for self-defense. Jiu-Jitsu is designed for a smaller, weaker opponent to be able to overpower a larger opponent.
Okay.
So, in wrestling you say, give it 100%, the coach says give it 110%. In Jiu-Jitsu, you want to make the other guy give it 110%, you still win anyway. That's the best
You're
part
using
about
leverage.
Okay.
You're using biomechanics. You're using physics of the body to manipulate another person. You're using off-balancing techniques, things of that nature.
That gives me a really good, you did a great explanation on that because I had no experience with it. The only thing Japanese, many years ago, my son and I took Shotokan.
Oh, Shotokan karate is a wonderful karate.
Shotokan
Yeah, very
up in
powerful
Michigan.
karate.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. My husband says I have a black belt in shopping, so I got to get back. I got to get back in the martial arts so I can prove the right one.
But I love the fact that it's also mental.
Yeah.
And that,
Oh, definitely mental.
Yes.
Well, that's the whole idea. When you come into the academy to train and you make a bow to the mat as you enter on the mat, the idea is that you're bowing out of a sign of respect, but you're also letting go of all the stress that you had during the day, of all the things that have been occupying your mind in your other life. You step on the mat and all your focus is training. So you forget about the stress that you have, you forget about this, you forget about that, and you're focused on 100% on what's happening in that moment.
And don't you find that focus, laser beam focus, 100%, can spill over into your private life to help you in business, in relationships.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't seem like anybody can focus on anything anymore.
Oh, I know, and especially
Right?
after the pandemic, and also these things, people are doing
Well, this is
multitasking, and it's
one of the things that we see with the kids that we have. And we have
Oh, I
kids that we have a
know.
lot of kids that come into the academy, and the parents will tell you, maybe they were struggling at school, they were struggling with different relationships,
Yes.
the outbursts, the emotions, and the kids come in and they start training. We start our children off at around age 3. The earliest
No
I've had
kidding.
was an 18-month-old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
toddlers class. Yeah, my son has been training since he was 3 years old. He'll be 16 March 11th. But we start them out early, and what we find is that focus, that discipline, the exercise that the kids are getting, the ability to expend the aggression and pent-up emotions that they have, because when you play the game, when you actually, okay, you learn your techniques and now go, and we call it rolling, you do the jiu-jitsu game, you're putting 150% in. You're using your strength, you're using your leverage, and you expend this energy. It's a phenomenal workout. And what we've seen is we've seen these kids improve their grades, improve their behavior. I just had a child last week successfully defend himself against another kid that attacked and punched him and put him in a chokehold. The boy counter chokehold him. The kid asked to be let go, and he let him go, and that was the end of the match.
Okay.
Successful defense in school with a lot of the bullying. And as the children train, they get confident. It's like
Of course.
spoon feeding the confidence to the
Yes.
kids, especially the kids
Yes.
that go and compete.
Yes.
Competitions are very
That's fierce.
very pressureful. Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
they
lot
are
of pressure on a
fierce.
No
child.
kidding.
You go in, you have to face another opponent that you've never met before.
Yeah.
There's an auditorium with maybe 400 or 500 people screaming.
I know.
And the kids are out there. They come out and they feel elated. They feel incredible. And we teach the kids it's not about winning, it's not about losing, it's about doing the best that
I knew you
can
were going to
out
say
there.
that. Do your best.
We make sure the kids are very. I tell the kids all the time. So we have a competition on Saturday. You have to be humble in victory and gracious in defeat. Make sure that you're a good sportsman or good sportswoman out there. Don't showboat. Don't be gracious to your opponent. Be humble.
and that's one of the
it's
things
just-
that is missing in a lot of our
Oh,
sports
it
these
is.
days.
Oh, it's missing. It's missing everywhere.
Yes,
Everywhere.
It's missing everywhere. Imagine if we had a society where we had this in school for children, starting in the elementary ages and working up through middle school. You think about all the bullying problems that the kids have, everything have. If they had training mandatory at school as part of the curriculum.
Do you think that's actually possible?
100%. They're doing it in many different countries right now. It's been a big part of the Japanese community, and I know specifically in places like Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates, they're actually teaching children jiu-jitsu in school. It
Wow.
would be a phenomenal change.
I absolutely. I know that they're teaching meditation in some of the counties here, which I'm very pleased to see. But this is so good. The kids today, they really need that discipline, and sometimes mom and dad are both working.
Yep.
And this gives them something to keep them busy as well. But the discipline part and the respect and the honor,
Yeah.
the respect and honor that the martial arts can give is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal.
It's priceless.
It is
Absolutely.
priceless.
And one of the things we're getting a little short on time because we're down to about 2 minutes, is the foundation that you have with this.
Yes.
That's a very important arm.
We started a program a number of
Thanks.
years ago, the Jiu-Jitsu Project, and really what it came down to was I didn't like turning away people for money from training.
Yeah.
I think this training is so important, and so along with Ray and a couple other gentlemen, TJ Etheridge and Jeff Hoberg, we created a nonprofit called the Jiu-Jitsu Project, and our mission is to go out within our communities and spread jiu-jitsu to people that couldn't otherwise afford it, people that veterans, families, single mothers. We have a number of veterans, for example, that if you interview them and talk to them, they'll tell you the jiu-jitsu is paramount to their well-being.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that guys that have been in combat, women that have been in combat and have, serious PTSD really get a lot of therapeutic results from training in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, and then they can go home and hug their dogs.
That's it.
Right?
And we have that. We actually have some of the dogs come in with us.
See?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
kidding.
we have a couple of students that bring their dogs in.
Oh, that's you guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for bringing them in. Where's your school, real quick? We have 30 seconds left. Where's your school?
Tarpon Springs. We just moved. The school is actually called Newport Richie Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Get out. Where in Tarpon Springs?
It's in 805 Live Oak, right back a little bit behind Lowe's.
Yeah.
You know where the industrial area is, where you go
I do,
over the bridge?
I do.
It's right back
And
there.
it goes, it's the extension of the Licanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it comes out of the sponge
Yeah,
docks
perfect.
and then on the way. That's
yeah,
the road.
we have a full gym
Okay.
in there. Florida Barbell is with us in there, so you have the jiu-jitsu and the gym.
Oh, that is so fantastic. Well, you got to check these guys out, really. I want to thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you
the
for
show.
having
We'll
us.
be right back here on My Chamber TV.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Tarpon Spring Chamber is in the spotlight today with Jean. And welcome back our guests, Barry and Lisa Butler, with the Tarpon Springs Distillery. And I've been there, and I know exactly what it's like over there. So welcome back again.
Thank you.
You've
Thank
been
you.
thriving and surviving and doing
Yes.
extremely well over there, haven't you?
They've got some new changes.
have.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
So what have you got?
Well, a lot of new changes since last time we were on My Chamber TV. The biggest thing that happened was the state of Florida made a bunch of legal changes back last
This
July.
was huge.
And that made it a lot easier for us to do business in the state. And most important change that the customers will see is the fact that we can now sell cocktails.
Yes.
And we now have at least if you want to talk about some of the cool cocktails that we have.
We have some of the best cocktails, I think, in Pinellas County.
I have to agree. You want to tell
Yeah.
them what my favorite one is?
The old-fashioned,
Yes.
the smoked old-fashioned.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
it's
That
wonderful.
sounds yummy.
It is yummy. It's very good. And the cocktail menu is just extremely innovative. Jessie, our general manager, is an expert mixologist, and she's constantly coming up with new and interesting cocktails. Right now she's working on some cocktails that are derived from Prohibition.
Oh, fun.
And, oh yeah, yeah. So it's never a dull moment there, really.
That sounds like you could do a 1920s party
Wouldn't that
And
be
dress
fun?
up.
and dress
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Ooh.
That would
We
be
do a lot
great.
of theme things. We're doing a new renovation on the back when we get that finished, hopefully by the end of this month. That will create about 1,000 square foot area where the courtyard is. We're going to cover it, put some ceiling fans, heaters, and things, and roll down walls so it can be outside when we want it to be outside, but inside when we want to have events and things like that if the weather's
that's
inclement.
great.
So that's going to be helpful.
Well, that'll be perfect for
And-
another ribbon cutting.
That'll be
There you
perfect
go.
for
Oh, yeah,
sure. Or at
yeah.
least to raise a drink to it.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Of course, of course.
Some other cool things that have gone on. We won a major national award with our moonshine this year. It's wearing a lot of gold medals, and our Grambling Woods High Rye Moonshine was voted the best moonshine in America by the American Distilling Institute.
That's
congratulations.
huge.
So all
Thank
you
you
folks
very
out there in
much.
North Carolina and Kentucky and West Virginia, the best moonshine in America is right here in Florida.
Right here.
And this guy makes it.
That's
Wow.
right.
And
The
he's
other
got
cool
a
things that we've
fabulous
done is
still.
we were able to launch our whiskey. It finally got enough age on it that we launched that. So we have rye whiskey available now in the store. We're going to start doing some limited distribution into liquor stores and bars with it. We don't really have enough to go kind of big distribution with it until next year. We're renovating. Many people may have noticed a lot of renovations in the on that old church on the corner of Pine and Alt 19. That's our new barrel house. I think we talked about that last time.
We did a little bit, but you.
That is almost finished. People will notice today that the street is dug up, and that's a good thing.
Not
Okay.
Alt 19,
No, not
but,
Alt
but,
19.
but
Oh, the side
Pine
street.
Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's dug up and
Right.
closed, and that's a good thing because they're finishing off the sprinkler system, and after that we'll be able to move in
Oh, nice.
and start putting up many more barrels of whiskey. And then our other new spirit child we want to talk about is called Aquavit.
Did you say spirit child?
Those are our spirit
Oh, yeah.
children. That's right.
That's what I thought I heard too. That's cute.
A lot of people have
Spirit animals.
Spirit animals like
We
their
have-
dogs or their children.
yeah.
These are our children, so there you go.
I love it.
Anyway, so Aquavit is another new product we launched last November that really is doing well in the store and was just picked up for distribution by our distributor. And it's actually a spirit that's 500 years old and was invented in Norway, and it's kind of the national drink of Norway, Denmark, Iceland, northern Germany, places like that. But it has a very unusual flavor profile.
Yes, it does.
In that it tastes like a Reuben sandwich in a bottle. So it's made with
I
caraway.
walked in, yes.
Yeah, it's caraway, dill, and pickle spices.
Oh, wow.
I walked in, I think it was early November, because we were looking at putting together a program that we were going to have in the back. And you were going through different tastings of this and the mixing, and I got to taste a couple of different ones of that, and be pre-launch. So it was
Pre-launch. Lucky
The
you.
test
Yeah.
batches.
I got the test batches. That's the word I was looking
You
for.
have privileges.
I have privileges.
Hey,
It
that's
was a
really
nice
cool to be able
surprise.
to do
Yeah.
that, to pre-taste.
Well, we have a little still. For those that have been in there, we have this little still called RD2D, and that's our research and development still. And so before we launch something to the public, we do test batches and different iterations of the botanicals and try to come up with, the best recipe. And even then, we will continue to tweak the recipe a little bit. We're making our second batch of this week, and we added a little more dill because I just wanted a little more pickle flavor.
I'm coming in.
So,
Can I meet you there?
so they'll continue to evolve a little bit.
That sounds yummy. I'm just curious, have you always been into this whole picture all your life, or did something trigger you to open up a distillery? I just forget the story behind it.
Well, Barry started watching the Moonshiners on Discovery Network, and pretty soon he was watching every show and
Taking notes.
taking notes. And before I knew it, he had ordered a still, and the rest is history almost.
That's right.
So you didn't even know? He just ordered the still?
No, it's ordered.
No, you told me he was
Oh,
going
I
to
was
do
Not
it.
this
Well,
big.
how did you respond to
Not
that?
the big still.
I was
like
okay
this.
with
This is the little- This is the little backyard still.
Yeah,
We're talking
not
about.
amazing.
Oh yeah,
Grace.
not a 500-gallon still, just
A starter still.
The original one had a pot that was about this big, and it would make like maybe a quart jar of moonshine.
And you notice she says quart jar.
Yes.
I grew up in South Carolina. I know all about that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, jars of moonshine.
Anyway, as it evolved, it became something we really liked a lot. And Lisa and I had done a lot of distillery tours over the years and really liked the idea of touring distilleries. It was a great place to go. And we thought, well, Tarpon Springs is a great tourist town. It would be an awesome place for a distillery. I mean, obviously, COVID had something to do with a little bit of a slow uptake, but now that that's kind of not in the rearview mirror, but farther back,
Yes.
it's starting to be really good. I mean, we've had the level of visitors has been crazy the last probably 2.5 months. I mean, a ton of people from out of state, and people locally are starting to get back. We had our first concert since the pandemic a couple of weeks ago, and had 130 people at the concert.
That was so
And,
encouraging.
Oh, that's
So that
neat.
was good.
It felt so normal.
So,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
Oh, yeah.
which reminds me, when you were talking about out of state, I need to get some more cards of yours because we are just about out of them at the chamber. Because what we do when people come into town, what is there to do? But it's so nice to be able to pick up the card and hand it to them and
We
say,
will get
"You
some
need to
postcards
get
down to you today.
okay."
We will
Yes.
take them to both offices.
We are
Great.
very grateful that the support that the chamber provides us.
Yes, and we love having you there because it's something different, but it's also, the quality is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And when you were talking, I'm so glad that you mentioned that last July the legislature had changed the law, because you have to go in there and do samples and then buy a whole bottle. Now I can go in and have my old-fashioned.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
that's great.
And you can buy a bottle too.
And the atmosphere is so relaxing. Just as soon as you walk in, it's like you feel at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And with you in your personalities and all, it's just so. I love Tarpon Springs. I never realized that I loved living in Tarpon as I do, and so congratulations for your awards and everything. So you joined the chamber right when you opened up.
When we opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see?
Before
So-
we open.
So you have an anniversary coming up, 5 years too, like this one over
No,
here.
no, no. We just
No.
opened on in December of 19.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay,
So we just
okay.
passed 2 years
Okay,
old.
but is that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's still just quite 2 years old, December.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
we're
that
open.
amazing?
You talk about the town and loving to live there. I mean, we had some friends in town that we haven't seen in years, and they came and stayed with us, and so we took 2 days off and went explored,
nice.
took them on a tour of around Tarpon Springs.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the places that have been here for years that we didn't know existed.
I know.
It was fun.
I know.
It's fun every now and then to approach your town as a tourist approaches your town. and see how it
Staycation,
works.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's funny, we tend to get a few days off and everybody wants to leave town, but there's so much to do in Tarpon Springs.
Oh, yeah.
You can easily, kill a couple of days roaming around just all the different businesses and restaurants, and it's funny how much there is to do here.
And
Yeah.
I
That
know,
is so
and I
true.
learn something new all the time too, because we'll have somebody who will come back and say, "Thank you for telling us to go here, here, and here," but you forgot to tell us about something else, and it was like, "Oh, I didn't. I completely did," because there is so much to do.
Well, we are running out of time, and we could talk to you all day
There's
long.
your front door.
We're just going to have to make a visit, you and I.
Okay.
I want to try
Definitely.
that new one
We'd
that
love
you
to
have.
see you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining my Chamber TV, and just
Thank
keep
you.
coming back. You're always delightful guests.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into my Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Jean Hungiville from the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to toss this over to you because you can't wait to tell what's going on.
Oh, my Lord. Well, first of all, I want to thank our guests. We just had a fabulous, fun time.
Yes, we did.
And I love making a mixture of different personalities and different businesses coming in. But I want to go back and learn more about Jiujitsu.
Me too.
Because that was, they were one of our newest members, as in like
Yeah.
about 3
They're
weeks ago.
They're going to do really well over there.
I think they are too, and that. But anyway, exciting, and Bipper Media. Abby is just such a doll.
I know.
And Christine is a good friend. This book is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And of course, Barry and Lisa from the Distillery. And even when I said my favorite drink, and she didn't even hesitate. That smoked old fashioned is wonderful.
I tell you, you always bring a great lineup. So I always leave here all jazzed up because we just bring the town to you guys.
I get jazzed up when I'm leaving here too, because
Yeah.
I realize how special Tarpon is and what we've got there.
I know.
And when we're highlighting different businesses, that is the heartbeat of our town. And
It
it's
is.
just our businesses. And
It
I
is.
that's why I love my job. 5 years. I cannot
I
believe it.
know. Congratulations.
We are at a point right now where we were getting ready to launch the chamber again into the community and all new stuff. We were at this point 2 years ago, just before the pandemic hit. We were putting up the mural from Christopher Still on the side of the building 2 years ago this week. And then we'd moved into our new building 6 months earlier. We were getting, staff was being built up. We were getting ready to launch into a new generation, and then the whole world closed down.
Yes.
Including the Fine Arts Festival. So now we are having the Fine Arts Festival, the 47th one, that is
is
coming
so
up
cool.
in about 10 days. It is the 12th and 13th, I don't know how I could even forget this date. 12th and 13th of March is the 47th annual Tarpon Springs Fine Arts Festival on the Bayou. Most everybody knows all about it. There's our that's the website. We've also got the website has its own website, which is tarponspringsfineartsfestival.com. It's got some of the artists that are coming up. Russ Hilton, who is my new employee, has gotten ahead of the game in that we've got some of the artists that have been juried in and that are going to be there are on that particular website. So if you go to Tarpon Springs, there we go. John got it, or Rob got it, and look at some of this stuff.
Oh, nice.
These are pictures from the previous year, but there's our website. That location is just fabulous. We're at Craig Park. For those of you that need GPS, we have, it's 100 Beekman Lane in Tarpon Springs, but recommendation is if you go to Tarpon Tower, which is on Martin Luther King or MLK and 19, we have a free parking there and free shuttle service. We have 3 shuttles that'll be constantly running the whole time. So that's the better place to park. Don't try to come in downtown unless you're coming very early because we expect about 15,000 people.
Do you really?
And with everybody dying to get out, it's probably going to be definitely that, maybe more, over the course of the weekend. March 12th and 13th, Saturday the 12th, it is from 9 until 5. On Sunday the 13th, it is going to be 10 until 5. The reason we open a little bit later is because the judges will be making their awards at 9 o'clock on Sunday, and then you'll get to see those all day on Sunday.
Oh, that's cool.
It'll be fabulous. That is also the weekend of daylight savings time.
Oh, we go back to the different time zone
we
again.
will spring forward.
There we go.
Yes, hopefully we'll be able to keep it this time.
I hope so.
I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, I want to do something that I'm just so proud of. I want to thank our sponsors. This year, our sponsors have come out, and I had to write them down because I didn't want to forget. We had so many. At the top of the list is a great thank you to Advent Health North Pinellas. They are a major corporate sponsor of ours now, and they are going to also be the primary sponsor for the Fine Arts Festival. They are marvelous community partners. They are just a godsend to Tarpon Springs because they have come in and have renovated brand new ER. They are hiring new people. I've just had marvelous experience with them. Hopefully next month we will be talking to their foundation. They have a new executive director of the foundation, so stay tuned for next month because I have her on the schedule for next month.
Nice. Nice. Good.
Yes.
That's going to be great.
That'll be great.
We've had good experience with Advent as well. It was a very good experience.
It's super.
So it's
and having them as a corporate partner is just marvelous, marvelous. We also have 2 other major corporate sponsors for the Fine Arts Festival, Ameriprise Financial, Ann Peterson, who happens to be the treasurer of the Chamber, but she's also a big part of the festival in that she runs the registration for the artists when they come in and they're packing up their packets. She makes that whole thing happen.
Nice.
That is just fabulous. So thank you for the corporate sponsorship. Also, Edward Jones Financial, Rich Lindahl. He is our immediate past chairman, acting chairman of the board, has been phenomenal in the last few years of helping the chamber keep together during some of the crises that we were going through when I came on board. He also was head of the search committee that hired me. So I want to say thank you to him as well as one of our major corporate sponsors for the Fine Arts Festival. And then we have another one, gold sponsor, Odessa Garden Center, new chamber member, and also going to be competing next year, not only as a sponsor, but hopefully in the juried art show. They came in a little too late, but they do some beautiful lawn ornaments and lawn work, but they also do landscaping. So they are in as a major corporate sponsor as well as they are our gold sponsor, and you have to come out and see them. They are going to be in a very large space, 20 by 20, with some of their work. So it'll be great. And then we have our silver sponsors, which we have usually only had a couple of. We have 6 of those now. And that is Leaf Home Water Solutions and Leaf Filter North. They have the same corporate, they are both separate businesses, but they have a corporate leaf filter and Leaf Home is a brand out of Ohio, but they are here in our area. Thank you for your sponsorship, and they will also have some booths, 2 different booths there. May Electric Solar, Alan Adams is one of our sponsors there. He will also be there at a booth. If you have not really looked at solar and aren't sure how it works, Alan is the man to talk to because he understands all about it. Pedigo, Dunedin. Pedigo bicycles, the Cadillac, I guess, and I use Cadillac as the gold standard for electric bikes. They joined the chamber just about Christmas time and have been very active, and they're going to have bicycles and be there at the Fine Arts Festival. Again, thank you for your silver sponsorship. Your CBD store, Tarpon Springs, Noah was on. He was one of our sponsors for the Fine Arts Festival. Noah had been on to Chamber TV. They are a new store in town and are doing very, very well. I think they're coming up on their 1st anniversary. Vision Ace Hardware. They supply our comfort station where the buses drop off, the shuttles drop off. Thank you. We couldn't do this without them.
No, absolutely not. That's great.
And we have something new this year. Our golf carts are now bronze sponsors.
Yay!
So people are going to be advertising on them. They're only for our small businesses. We have 5 of those. We have Kim Adams, who is a real estate agent, Juice Marketing, Joyce Frutashi has been in here. One Amazing Find, Casey Smith is...
They've all been on here.
They've all been on here. Speed Pro, who did the mural on the side of our building for us. Johnny Grits, Yum Yum.
Yay!
We're all on there. And again, we also have in-kind sponsors, Great Bay Distributors, Friendly Kia, and Astro Skate and Stretcher Limos, who are our limos that are coming up and down our shuttle. And then Firehouse Subs is also one who helps provide our workers during the setup with lunch. I can't imagine. I mean, this took almost the whole time, but this is the first time that we have had this many sponsors that want to be part of this.
And that's why I'm almost chuckling here to myself, because you've got so much information because you have it. We're back. We're all open and everything here in Tarpon Springs. So, yeah, it's a great time whether you want to start a business, maintain your business, and take it to a higher level. Join the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. Jean, I love you. Thank you so much.
Weekend after next, Fine Arts Festival.
Yep.
Come on
Be there.
down.
All right. Thanks for joining us.